This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Today's Wednesday, the 2nd of July, 2025. We're so glad you could join us here today. Coming up later on in the program, we're going to talk with Jason Meyer of agmarket.net to find out what happened in the closing markets. But first, we're going to wrap up our conversation today with Iowa Ag Secretary Mike Naig. Our focus back to Iowa, obviously here in the summer, we're talking about, it won't be long before we got to get through maybe some timely rains, hopefully around state fair time. County fairs are kicking off. It feels like it was just planting season a week ago, and here we are already talking about mid to end of summer activities, and talk about a little bit of things that are going to be going on, things you're going to be doing and visiting here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh gosh, it's such an exciting time. And of course, those great county fairs, I try to get to as many as I can. I don't get to as many as I'd like to, but I can think back to my own youth, of how fun and how much of a buildup it is to the county fair and the projects that you've got going and the livestock that you're working with, and you show and compete. And it's such a great thing. It's a good thing for our kids, 4-H and FFA certainly, but they're community events too. And so I would encourage folks, get out to it. Whether you got somebody that's showing or not or involved, go to the county fair and have a great experience. But we're also trying to really promote and push farm experiences this summer through Choose Iowa, our state branded program for Iowa grown, Iowa made, Iowa raised. And we just had our inaugural farm store crawl just last weekend, which was great. And again, it's about doing some shopping, go buy from those Choose Iowa members that have a retail location on their farm. But in so doing, you're also getting a farm experience. And that's a great thing. We want more folks to go out and travel some gravel roads, do some shopping, but also get out and see a farm and be on a farm and meet a farmer. Those are really good things. So it's a fun time. Of course, I also just saw Farm Bureau put out their cost of the 4th of July picnic. They always do that. And of course, we're seeing some indication that prices are coming down, but not dramatically. And so it's just a reminder that we've still got some economic woes and folks concerned about food prices. And of course, the agriculture component of that, the commodity price, is just a small percent, maybe 15% of the actual price that people pay in the grocery store. And so we've got to continue to focus on bringing down costs and making sure that we've got profitable farmers, and all of that contributes to consumers getting exactly what they want.
And having that event like the farm crawl, it brings attention, and also the farmers markets we have throughout the state throughout the summertime brings great attention to those products that we enjoy during the summertime, but yet they're grown here. And some people maybe aren't quite aware as to how much is produced here in our own state.
That's right. And here's the other piece. We're also trying to talk a lot about what's in season. And I like to say, is there anything better than fresh Iowa sweet corn when it is perfectly in season? Or, is there anything better than asparagus when it is fresh cut and right in season? And of course, we're blessed with the fact that we can buy food from all over the world and all over the country any time of the year. You can get tomatoes and bananas year round, every single day, all across the great state of Iowa. But when you can have something that is fresh and in season, that is special. And so, yes, whether it's cantaloupe and watermelon or sweet corn or leafy greens, you name it, root crops, or that great beef and pork and it's coming straight off an Iowa farm. It's such it's good for our economy to keep those dollars in Iowa. It's good for those farmers and businesses selling. But boy, as a consumer, you get to enjoy the benefits of having that fresh, local, quality product. So we're excited to continue to promote. And this is a growth area, Dustin. We're seeing a tremendous increase in interest on the part of consumers, but also farmers and businesses that want to try to capitalize and get into this marketplace. That's what it's all about. We're trying to build a market, trying to capture more value for the state of Iowa, give consumers what they want in the process.
All right, and before we wrap up today, obviously some big news for the Iowa Department of Agriculture. I'm going to bring in a special guest to help us here. Former 31st President Herbert Hoover, only because of the fact that you guys are making a move to a building that bears his name.
Yes, we're having some fun with Herbert Hoover, and hurrah for Hoover. A car in every chicken in every pot, and a car in every driveway. That kind of thing. And we are moving after 47, 48 years at the Wallace State Office building, which has been just Iowa Department of Ag was the main tenant in that building for all those years. We are moving. And actually, as we are speaking, my office is being moved. It's on a truck somewhere between the two buildings, but we're moving a kitty corner across the Capitol complex to the Hoover building, a nice refurnished space for us. And we're excited about that. So the team has been packing boxes. And so if you are doing business with us, you need to get a hold of somebody. Just know that for a couple days, there may be some phones rolling to other phones, and email will be maybe a little bit slow, but team's been working really hard to make this a very smooth, seamless transition. And we'll talk next from the Hoover building.
All right. Well, Secretary Naig, we look forward to that. And of course, we'll be talking next time about just getting ready to go into the state fair. I know they're talking about putting in a Mike Naig Express lane at the Shake building. We're also waiting for the Iowa egg producers for when you're handing out eggs, the one for me, one for you way of doing it.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to talking about that as well.
These are all fantastic ideas, and I think I'm gonna hang up with you and call the Dairy Association, see if we can't get to work on that.
All right, Secretary, thanks so much for taking the time to visit with us again.
You bet.
That again was Iowa Ag Secretary Mike Naig. We're going to take a short break now and hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, it's time for the closing markets. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. We're back on Ag Matters PM, and it's time to go through the closing numbers, and we're talking right now with Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. And 2 days before Independence Day, and we're already seeing fireworks in the marketplace on the grain side of things. Jason, what did we see happen?
Yeah, when you woke up this morning, nobody had corn up 10 on their bingo card. The big thing today, I would say, is that Vietnam officially signed their trade agreement. So that led to a little positivity in the market. But I just must say, before everybody started talking Vietnam in the beginning of the trade talks with the U.S. on June 7th, they already signed an agreement that they're going to buy $3 billion worth of U.S. egg products. So I think there might be something a little deeper than just Vietnam on one of the reasons why we're higher. And here in Iowa, we know that President Trump is going to be talking tomorrow. So there's some excitement that maybe we're going to see some more trade deals announced or something positive when it comes to ethanol or biofuels here.
Well, of course, the markets like to see, any movement there as well. Vietnam had that memorandum of understanding they signed in Iowa last month as well, like you mentioned earlier. And also we have a lot of trade deadlines. Well, we have a trade deadline coming up for a lot of these countries to get this stuff done. And hopefully that news we're going to get is going to be good. But again, we still have a little ways to go.
That's correct. July 9th is a deadline, I believe, for most countries to come with an agreement. And there's also a lot of talk behind the scenes that maybe there's something coming together with China. Maybe they're going to start buying some U.S. commodities. Then when you look in the world stage, with the corn harvest in Brazil being maybe a little bit delayed, U.S. corn is really competitive in the world stage, and the soybeans are super competitive for exports as well right now. So maybe with the dollar at basically 3-year lows, we could see some more exports coming down the pipeline here.
Now, we did mention that corn finished up higher. How did soybeans end the day?
Soybeans finished up on fire too, up 23, 24. A lot of that was led by the strength in the soybean oil market. There's some talk that this big, beautiful bill that passed the Senate is now back in the House, and there could be some more positivity regarding the 45Z. I haven't seen anything in confirmation, but there's a lot of talk in the industry today that this biofuels, there's something coming down the pipeline.
All right, switching gears to the livestock side of things, how did those cattle and hogs perform today? I know they had a little bit of a rough day yesterday.
Yeah, they continued that rough start here this morning, but reversed well off their lows. I think the feeders were $5 off their lows today, and the fats about $3. Nothing really major is going on out there in the country right now, but I just think some technical buying. And then when you have the maybe potential trade deals, that it could include some beef as well.
All right. And then, hogs, I mean, do they have just a quiet day here as well?
Hogs are relatively quiet when you look at the grains and the cattle market. The hog market's been really smoked here the last couple of days. And with the strength in the cattle especially, we saw the front month cattle up, our hogs up a little bit, while the back months were under a little bit of pressure here today.
All right. So folks want to talk to you guys at agmarket.net, maybe find out what some options are out there for making some of their market plans. What's the best way for them to do that?
Check us out on our website at agmarket.net and give myself or one of my teammates a call, and we'd be happy to talk with you and help you develop a marketing plan in this challenging environment that we're in.
All right. That's Jason Meyer with agmarket.net. Jason, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Thanks for having me, and everybody have a great day.
That again was Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the numbers closed. You can find that on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network market screen online, iowaagnet.com. September corn up 12 cents at $4.18 even. August soybeans up 23 3/4 at $10.53 1/2. Soybean meal up $3.10 at $2.7680. Soy oil up $1.36 at $55.02. Chicago wheat up 15 cents at $5.64 even. Kansas winter wheat up 12 cents at $5.22 3/4. Kansas spring wheat up 12 1/4 at $6.13 3/4. Oats up 10 1/2 at $3.84 1/2. Live cattle closed up $1.70 at $212.45. Feeders up $3 at $309.02. Lean hogs up 65 cents at $109.65. Pork cutouts unchanged at $118.05. Class 3 milk 24 cents lower. And that's been our closing market recap, and that brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com, as well as follow us on Facebook, X, and on our YouTube channel. While you're here, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified each time we put out a new video project. Also, don't forget about the free market podcasts of replays of Iowa Ag Matters, Weekend Ag Matters, and much more, all online or delivered right to your mobile device through the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network podcast. You can find them on Amazon, Apple, YouTube, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IRN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Ashton Jolly, Mark Magnuson, Riley Smith, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.